Oh, and by the way, in honor of our book coming out October 15th, every week we're going to share a story where we answer a question from one of the chapters. That was really hard to say in the right order, but yes, I'm about to answer the question. This week's chapter is Your Relationship with You, which is all about how to love and take care of yourself. And the question is, what is one of your favorite self-care activities? Okay, this might sound really cheesy or weird, but one of my favorite self-care activities is going on a walk with no music. Sometimes you really need the music, but sometimes you don't, and you need to listen to yourself and be in the nature and just get in touch with all your feelings. So I do that pretty often, and it really helps me clear my head and process my life. I don't know if that's weird. Does anyone else do that?
So today we're going to talk about chapter 2, which is about your relationship with God. And we are going to tell you one of our favorite Bible verses or favorite way to pray. So I'm going to tell you one of my favorite Bible verses. So here we go. Okay, this is Romans 12:2. I'm just going to read it from my Bible. Do not conform yourselves to this age, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and pleasing and perfect. I particularly like this a lot because it kind of guides me in my life. A lot of times I do things that are really against the grain and really against current culture and society. And I just feel oh, I'm so different. I'm so going against the grain here. And when I hear things like that, it's you know what? I'm praying. I'm asking God where I should go. I'm following what I believe He's telling me. I don't need to be doing what everyone here on earth who doesn't even know the answers is doing. So that's why I love it.
Okay, so this week's question, we can either pick our favorite Bible verse or our favorite way to pray. My favorite way to pray by far is a Catholic form of prayer called adoration, which basically means we believe that Jesus is truly present in the Eucharist, which is the body and blood of Christ that we have in Mass. So adoration is basically an opportunity where the body is exposed and you get to sit and quiet and just be in Jesus' presence. It kind of reminds me of in the Bible, the story of Martha and Mary, where she just sits at Jesus' feet and listens to him. That's kind of how it feels in adoration. So you're just basically sitting, spending quality time with Jesus, and there's nowhere in the world where I feel more at peace. So that is my favorite way to pray.
The question for this week is, what's your favorite way to pray? For me, recently I feel I'm finally getting into that flow of just being conversational with God, and in the moments when amazing things happen during my day, I'm just oh, thank you, short little prayers. Or at night, in the morning, I'll just kind of I always try to start with gratitude and then ask for whatever I need, but first I'm okay, thank you for this, thank you for that, thank you for that thing, that was awesome. And remember how much God does for me every day and how much I have to be thankful for, and then I go into how much I need Him and how much help I need and where I could use help. And I try to just talk like I'm talking to a parent or a friend.
My favorite method of prayer is the Rosary, which is a Catholic contemplative method, which basically is a meditation. So each one of these beads represents a prayer, and you say the bead on the prayer, and you go all around the string of beads. I will link an article on how to pray the Rosary after this, but it's just an amazing way to recenter yourself and focus on the Lord and focus on Mary, our mother. And it really hits me deeply because each one of these sets of beads, you focus on a different point in Jesus' life on earth, and it really makes me feel connected and calm. It refreshes my mind after I do it, actually. So I love it, and I usually pray it before bed, or when I can't sleep, I pray it again. It's very calming, and I love it. This is my prayer corner where at night I light some candles, and I pray my Rosary.
Question is, what is your favorite Bible verse? And I would say mine is Matthew 17:20, which is, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. And it just reminds me when I feel like things are really hopeless or something's impossible, that if I just have faith the size of a mustard seed, which if you know how big a mustard seed is, it's really small. If I just have a little bit of faith, I can do anything.
What's the question, Evan?
What is your guys' favorite Bible verse? I'll tell you mine.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but it is somewhere in Matthew. and it's in around 28. It's a good verse. I don't know it.
Do you know what they say?
Yes. Basically, it's talking about your strength and how strong you are as an individual and how you can overcome anything with God. If anybody wants to skim through Matthew 23 through 28, you'll find the verse.
All right, good answer from Emmon. So I will tell you my favorite Bible verse, Emmon, is Joshua 1:9. And I know this because it was on my wall for a really long time. And it is, "Be strong and courageous. The Lord your God is with you wherever you go." And that was basically to like quell, anxiety, fears, all that stuff. I think it's beautiful and it's amazing. So Joshua 1:9.
The story's not over yet. I have a good one that we learned in Bible study today.
Oh, okay.
You got to make another story. I got to find.
All right. What is your new favorite Bible verse?
Okay, so Danny and I were in Bible study today, and we were flipping out because this verse was crazy. And
Were we flipping out?
Yeah, we were. We were talking. It was in relation to loving everybody, even if they don't like you, even if
You don't like them.
Yeah. So basically, it said, "For if you love those who love you, what reward will you have? Don't even the tax collectors do the same?" In that time, the tax collectors were like terrible people. "And if you only greet your brothers and sisters, what are you doing out of the ordinary?" It was Matthew 5:46 and 47, but our mind was blown.
I should say that again. If you only greet your brothers and sisters, what are you doing out of the ordinary?
Yeah, guys, Matthew 5:46, 47. While you're there, check out Matthew 28. Let me know if you see something.
Okay, so I'm just going to tell you my favorite things that I've done this summer with my friends. Going to the park and ripsticking there while my friend was skateboarding, that was really, really fun. And then I really like to sit down and have a really deep conversation with my friends. I did a lot of laying out at the pool, and I also swam in a saltwater pool. Amazing. Those are my top things to do. I'm pretty chill gal. I don't really like going out doing much crazy things. I just like to be chill with my friends.
So I am a very social and outgoing person. I love people. I love being with people. But when it comes to my friends, I really just like to have like a very chill and relaxed environment because I'm all about the deep talks. And I feel like when I'm hanging out with my friends, I don't think there's ever a time when we don't have a deep talk, just like catching up on our lives and what we've been going through. So for me, I just like any environment with friends that kind of cultivates like deep conversation. So that could be going out to dinner in like a nice chill restaurant, or going to one of our houses and cooking dinner together, or making tea and popcorn and just like hanging out on the couch. Like basically anything, as long as a deep conversation is involved, I will be very happy.
This week's question is, what's your favorite thing to do when hanging out with friends? And definitely for me, it is game night. We'll get like 10 of our friends together, me and my boyfriend, and we all hang out and we have snacks and we play different games, like really like spirited, energetic games. Like, I don't know if you guys know the game Mafia, or we have like card games that we do. It's so much fun. And it's nice to like bring everyone together. You bring new friends in that don't know each other with like the old friends, and it's just a blast. And I absolutely love it. Definitely my favorite thing to do with my friends. I was laughing at my story as I was watching it back because it's like, get our new book, Believe in You. And then I'm like, I feel horrible. I hate today. Blah, everything's bad. But you know what I will say is our book is actually full of my perspective on times when I feel like I did today. I already feel better, but earlier I was really, really bad for a few hours there. And I just want to say, on days like today, the reason that I feel that I'm fine with having an off day once in a while or all the time or whatever is I don't blame it on myself. I'm not like, oh, I'm horrible. I must have done something wrong. I'm so bad. I'm the worst, blah, blah. I just say, I feel horrible. I feel like the worst. I feel this. I take my feelings and I kind of like separate them from myself. So I'm like, okay, I feel all these things. I acknowledge that. I let it out. I get through it, but I don't take it on as part of my identity. I know that I'm good. I know that I'm worthy. I know that I deserve good things. And I'm going to hold on to that in the back of my mind. So even as I feel the bad things, I'm like, I know that I feel this way and I'm going to acknowledge it, but I'm not going to accept it as who I am. Because that's when I really start to like stay down, and I don't want to do that.
The thing I do the most with my friends is just straight chill. So like we'll sit on the couch, we'll watch movies, we'll drive around, we'll go to the pool, like we'll hang out, bros. Like, we chilling because we're all older. We're all in our 20s and we're working hard and we just need to chill sometimes, you know? Like, chill. I want to get back into doing like random adventures and being like, yeet. You know what I mean?
The question is, what is your favorite thing to do when hanging out with friends? And I think for me, it's honestly just like sitting down like at a coffee shop or at someone's house, just anywhere where you can talk and just talking about what's really going on in our lives and our dreams and our goals and, you know, personal growth and our feelings and just feeling like we're actually connecting on like a real level. That's my favorite thing to do.
Okay, the question is, what is your favorite breakup song? Well, this depends on what kind of breakup it is because there's like angry ones and then just like dead sad ones and then just like in the middle. I'm just gonna say, if you want to bawl in your car, then our song Acid Rain by Cimorelli, you will be in your car like, I know you guys can confirm this. I know you can confirm it, okay? Acid Rain.
Okay, so it depends on the type of breakup. I think there's good songs for every type, depending on the situation. So the first one would be if they literally destroyed you to the core. And that would be The Kitchen Floor by Little Green Cars or The John Wayne by the Little Green Cars. Those were like some of my favorite breakup songs back in the day, so those two. If you're more just like really mad at them, like, then I always listen to Cry Me a River or What Goes Around, both by Justin Timberlake. Those were great songs when I was like in a mad mood. And then if you're just like laying on the floor thinking, you literally stole my house, my car, my cat, my dog, my life, my hope, that's how you feel, then my song that I wrote, Where It All Ended, I'll put the link in this so you can listen to it if you want.
So this week's question is, what is your favorite breakup song? Oh my gosh, I can't move this out of my face. Okay, I have two answers because when I'm sad about a breakup and I'm like, I'm just trying to like mourn it and express my feelings, I love Oh Well by Mayday Parade. Oof. And then when I'm trying to like be strong for myself and be like, don't go back, and like remember all like the wrong that they did, you know, like the more of the like angry, like push you away mood, then I listen to Better by Meghan Trainor, and that one like helps me respect myself. So it's either one of those two. I can't really pick.
Guys, today's question is juicy. It is, what is your favorite breakup song? One of my all-time favorite breakup songs is All Too Well by Taylor Swift. And another one of my all-time favorite breakup songs is Where It All Ended by my very own personal sister, Kathy Ryn, aka Catherine. Feeling like really moody, Mayday Parade is amazing. So their songs like Miserable at Best, their cover Somebody That I Used to Know, also Oh Well, 3 Cheers for 5 Years. Like, they're so good for a breakup, guys. Like, so good. Hope that those musical suggestions will get you far into your feels and get you past the pain of your most recent breakup. And Ariel's making me laugh. Please.
Please help her.
And this is gonna sound like a self-plug, but it's just the straight facts. My favorite breakup song is our cover of The Night We Met by Lord Huron. It is the saddest thing I've ever heard, and it's so like, it just tugs at your heartstrings. So if you haven't listened to that, then you should go to Spotify and listen to it.
Okay, this is really tough. I think I might be most similar to Alex, the way that our brains work, but then the way that it looks on the outside, it doesn't look like it. But the way that our brains work, very similar. And then least similar, probably Joey. But I get along with Joey amazingly. So it's pretty interesting. That you might not have expected that, but yeah. I wonder if Lisa said Alex too.
Okay, so this week's question is, which sibling are you most alike or most different from? So I'm just gonna do both. If you're going with like Myers-Briggs, which is like a personality type thing, then I actually have the same Myers-Briggs as my brother Joey, and I feel like he and I are very similar. I don't really feel like I'm similar to any of my siblings, really. Christina and I are actually kind of similar in a way. We have like such different personalities, but I feel like we kind of like, I don't know, the way we view the world, kind of similar. I don't know, we're still so different. So I don't know, I would just say Joey. And then I think I'm most different than my brother Christian. He and I are just like very, very opposite.
Question is, which siblings are you the most like and which sibling are you the most different from? Say I'm kind of like a mix between Lauren and Danny, like Lauren's rule follower planary side and then like Danny's extroversion, like fun type of deal. I think if you put them together it would be me, but I'm not really that much like any of my siblings. By far, I would say I'm the least like Lisa. We are literally polar opposites. We are so different. Our personalities aren't alike. Our like the things that drive us aren't alike. Like we're literally the exact opposite on like every personality test.
And the question for this week is, which sibling are you most alike and which sibling are you most different from? I would say I'm most like Christina, because we're both kind of like leader types, kind of like put together, organized, like kind of act like your mom sometimes kind of thing. Like we both have that, but then we also have like really opposite sides too, where like she's really like can be kind of more like spontaneous and outgoing and like confrontational, where I'm a lot more like chill and like just trying to keep the peace. So we're kind of like me, her, like, but we probably have the most overlap of any of my siblings. And then the one who I'm most different from is probably Lisa. We're just our brains are just so different. We think so differently, like we live so differently, like we're just very different.
Okay, I just watched Lauren's where she said we are most alike from who's most like her. And I forgot about that. I would add that in. Our brains, not exactly, but all the similarities she said, yeah, pretty on point, not gonna lie.
So basically I'm going to answer the question, what sibling are you most alike / different? That was weirdly worded, but you'll get it in a second. Now, honestly, this is hard for me to say. I'm a lot like Michael, my oldest brother, surprisingly, and I'm also similar to Joey, my youngest brother, I guess. There's not really one sibling that I would say I'm like, oh yeah, we're really similar. Like, I think I'm pretty different from most of them, but Michael and Joey, I think, have similar personalities to me. Okay, this is also a hard question because I don't know who I'm most different from. Maybe Alex, my middle brother. He's really like, his personality is just like this. He's pretty quiet, pretty introspective, pretty deep. I'm not saying I'm not any of those things, but like, definitely not most of the time.
Okay, so it wouldn't change anything. I would still spend it exactly the way I spend my money right now. I would still tithe, give away to charity and church, and I would invest probably more of it, and I would probably pay off the mortgages I'm on and like a little more. I would pay things off a little more. I would spend it exactly the same as I do right now. I wouldn't be like, ooh, I gotta do something crazy. I would invest, give, and spend sensibly. I'm not really that crazy. Not that interesting, but I mean, what do I really need that I don't have? I don't really know.
The question I'm going to answer for you guys is, if I was given $1 million, what would I do with it? First of all, I don't really like the principle of just being given money. I feel like that's very unnatural. All the money that I've had to work for it. So first of all, just by principle, I like that better. But in a very fantasy scenario of when you're just given a bunch of money for nothing. Okay, I don't really know. First of all, I would probably give a lot of it to charity because I would be like, I didn't even earn this money. So I just feel kind of bad. And then, I don't know. I haven't really thought about that before. Maybe just go on like some cool trips to like bucket list places. Maybe buy like another house or something. I don't know. I don't really feel like, I don't really think about like big splurges. It's not really on my mind a lot, as you can probably tell. So yeah, that is probably not the greatest answer compared to my sisters. You can go in their stories and check out what their answers have been.
And in honor of our book coming out, we're answering a question this week about chapter 6, which is about money. And the question is, if you had $1 million, how would you spend it? If I had $1 million, I would probably invest all of it at this point because there's nothing that I really like am dying to buy. Like, I love my car so much, I'm going to drive it till it explodes. So I'd probably invest a lot of it in the real estate and then the rest of it in like stocks and bonds or something. I don't know. I would definitely use part of it to hire a financial advisor to tell me what to do with that money. But I would just want to invest all of it. I don't want to like buy a bunch of stuff because then your money is gone as fast as it came.
So as I said, chapter 6, all about money. Today's question is, if someone gave you, aka me, $1 million, how would I spend it? Well, first, I would pay off any debt that I had. Second, I would donate a bunch to charity. Third, I would stack the rest in my savings and invest it because that's how you prepare for the future. So I would buy myself some sort of a gift. I don't know what kind of gift, but just like something to say, hey, Amy, you're great.
Guys, I'm really boring, okay? If I had $1 million, I'd buy a house. I don't think I'd buy a new car. I really like my car. And then I'd put the rest in a high yield savings account. Boom.